Welcome to Giovanni's Fallout 4 Settlement Guide. We're going to take a look a little in depth, well, as much as I can go, on settlements and how they work, how you can get more people to your settlements, how to move electricity through the settlement, and everything we can possibly think of here. So let's get going. Alright, so I'm seeing a lot of people online complaining that there really aren't any tutorials at all as far as settlements go. A lot of you are wanting to build up settlements, run power to them properly. The one I'm about to show you, yes, it's kind of a mess. That's because it was my first one. I was working with it, trying to experiment a little bit, see what works, what doesn't. People are having trouble with the electricity, getting new settlers to show up at their settlements. So let's do a run through on this, and I'll kind of give a little demonstration on how the whole thing works, how you can run power properly, how to get more settlers. Once you get the hang of it, it's really not as difficult as people think it is, or the game tries to make it seem. Now, as far as the power part goes, you'll see my whole area is really kind of a mess. I have a few generators here and there. See, we'll head down here, and I've got one right here, which is a medium generator. So you throw that down, and then you would want a power pylon. I use the basic large ones, which is just, basic power line pull that you would see out in the real world. So you're going to run from a generator to your power pylon. From there, it will run out to any other devices that need electricity, such as my construction lights need the electricity, so I have a line going from the power pylon to each one of those. Now on consoles, let's see, Xbox One, it would be, you would hit Y on the device to run a power line from it, and then tap Y again on the other device to attach the power line. On PS4, it would be the triangle, I do believe, would be the equivalent on PS4. So you'd start off with your generator, hit Y on it to attach the power line. Run it to the power pylon and hit Y again. That will put a surge of energy from the generator to the power pylon. Then from there, you're just going to run it out from the pylon to the devices that need energy. You just have to be careful with how much it produces. You've got the medium one produces 5, a small one will do 3, a large will produce 10. I currently do not meet the requirements for this. I need science rank 1, and the windmill is only 3. So the windmill itself is rather useless because, it only produces 3, while a medium one will produce 5 power. So I mainly stick with the medium one, and sometimes the small if I'm running low on resources. Now you'll see from here, I've also got it running down the block, and I've got another generator down here for another 5 power. And that will shoot from there up to this power pylon, back over to there, down the block that direction, and it will also work in conjunction with this one, which will now produce a total of 10 power going through all the lines that intersect with these 2 power pylons. The only one catch here is the siren. I flawed this one. It requires 1 power to run it. However, power will not flow aesthetically through it to get from that pylon to that pylon because the siren is off. Now, if you turn it on, it's going to throw everybody into a panic mode because they're going to think there's a raider invasion or something. But in the off modes, the power will not be directly supplied through it. So this one here is actually a flawed way of doing this. You want the siren to be the very last thing that you connect everything to. Do not use it as a jumper or, a middleman. keep it at the very end of all the power supplies. As far as housing goes, we have the conduits. There are several different types of conduits. The smaller power pylons I haven't really messed with. As far as conduits, you have the verticals for standing upright, upside down, and then you have your horizontal. The horizontal is the one that I've been working with. You can see I've got on the outside of this house here is one, and then there's another one here, and one over on the side here. They do take quite a bit to do this, and it makes a little bit of a mess. If anybody finds a better way to do this, please leave a comment on this video to let everybody else know. I have not yet found a way to just run one line to a house and have it supply power to the entire house, no matter how many generators I use. But you can see I've got the power pylon here, and it runs to that one over there on front of the house. And then this pylon runs to the front here and the side there. There is also a small generator here, supplying power through all of it. And like I said, this one over here is completely null and void now because the siren is blocking out the two generators down here. I actually need to redo this if I want it to run properly. So everything up this side of the area is going to be running off of generators up here. So we've got a small one here and a medium one here, and then a medium one back here. And you can see, like I said, it is very much a mess. I've got power pylons, power lines just out the wazoo. They're all over the frickin' place. This really can't be helped. Later on, you know, when you've really got the resources, you might be able to redo a lot and, you know, find better placement for everything. But as far as lighting goes, you can see this light is currently on, as well as this one, while this one is not. Although I have 3 connections on the outside of my house, it is not reaching the backside. This, I don't know why they did it like this. I mean, honestly, it should be, you know, from the power pylon straight to the conduit on the house, and it supplies power to the house as long as there are enough generators supplying enough power to go to it. Because you can see that these don't actually have any specific requirement other than requires power. It doesn't say 1 or 3 or 5, it's just that they require power. And yet the light in the middle of the hallway is lit because it's closer to the front of the house. Now, if I were to pick this one up, let's see, we'll just chuck it down here. Say still no power there. And no power there for some reason either. See, it's just tricky getting power to everything properly. I don't know exactly why this is. Again, if anybody, you know, can elaborate further on this, give a little bit better of an example, feel free. Light in the bathroom is perfectly fine. Hallway is fine. I do not have one in my bedroom with all my magazines, or in this room. I used to have a TV in here, but I removed it because, I mean, really, TVs are pretty much worthless in Fallout 4. There's no broadcasting going on at all, so you might as well just scrap those out. And then radio beacons. Let's go ahead and talk about the recruitment radio beacons real quick. This part is going to be completely about your settlement and getting new settlers to the settlement. You can see in the upper left corner, maybe if my overlay doesn't completely kill it, I currently have 18 people at this settlement. I've got a total of 48 food, 22 water, 31 power, 43 defense, 24 beds, and their happiness is at 69. So to get more people to your settlement is really not that hard. People have been just, throwing down these recruitment beacons and then turning them on, go play and play and play and come back and, oh, well, look, it doesn't work. There's nobody else new at your settlement. Everything's still the same. There's a reason for this. You not only need a recruitment beacon, but you also need extenders. So let's see, that's not one of them. Here we go. They look very similar to this. This is an outpost here. I'll go ahead and travel over to it just to see if that actually is one of them. Okay, no, this is actually not one of them. That was another settlement that I cleared out. Where did he go? Okay, Relay Tower 0BB915. Oh, and of course there's enemies nearby now. Ah, okay, there's actually one right here. Radio Tower 3SMUB1. Okay, when you show up to these places, they will not be extended. I've got a frickin' enemy here. Okay, anyway. When you show up, there will be a relay tower terminal. You're just going to access it, and then extend satellites ready is what it will say. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Then just back out. And there we go. Now those satellites are up, so any recruitment beacons that you have that are within range of this tower will now boost the frequency of that settlement. So now that settlement will reach out further across the entire map, and more people will hear that recruitment beacon and come to that settlement. So let's do a quick run here real quick. See, from Sanctuary, if you go direct east, that would be Radio Tower 3SMUB1. And then south, directly south almost, is Radio Tower 0BB915. Now, I honestly don't remember if there's any other ones that I had already found or not. I think those are the only two I actually have activated at this point. And as you can see, I had around 18 people there. Ah, here we go. Here's one. So radio tower 0MC810. And it's almost directly southeast of the one I'm currently at, which is 3SMU81. You just want to roam around the map, and as you're, exploring, find these radio towers and activate them. You want to extend that satellite up. That way, it'll boost the frequency of all your transmissions that you have going from every settlement you have. And then, in the process of that, you can also get supply lines going from settlements. So I've got Sunshine Trading Co-op to Starlight Drive-In, the Red Rocket Truck Stop, and up to Sanctuary. You can see here I've got 18 people in Sanctuary, 8 at the Red Rocket, 0 at the Starlight. I'm still working on that one. I haven't really done much with it. And I've got 17 at the Sunshine Trading Co-op. Sorry, it's a little bit late and I'm kind of tired. You get the supply lines going, and it's going to keep them happier. They're going to have better supplies. When you go back to buy stuff, they're going to have things you might actually need or want, like stim packs, ammo for the weapon that you keep frickin' running out of ammo on. And yeah, I have that problem all the time. I run out of ammo on the guns I always use, so I have to switch over to junky ones, and it irritates me to no end. But yes, left bumper, or L1 it would be, I believe, on PS4, will show your current settlements that have supply lines between them. Now, essentially, with as far as I am in the game, I could have supply lines with pretty much everything you're seeing here. I've got them all the way off to the east over here, and I've got some down to the south. I could establish supply lines between each one of these and just have massive supplies going between all my settlements. Everybody would be a lot happier. I'd be getting a lot more coming in and be able to, buy a lot more and have a lot more supplies coming to me. So we're going to travel back over to... Actually, no. We'll go to Red Rocket real quick. Okay, now at the Red Rocket, I have a medium generator here, and you always want to make sure you have defenses. If your defense is not high enough, people will not come to the settlement, no matter what. So, to check, I'm going to go into your Pip-Boy, Data. On the Data tab, we're going to go to Workshops. Everything with that little exclamation point to the right of its name has a problem. That means that's something you need to fix before people will become available to go to that destination. They will not go to that settlement if there's a problem there. And you can see my Abernathy Farm, County Crossing, Croup Manor, Finch Farm, Green Top, pretty much all these have no defense, and that's the complaint. Settlers don't want to go there because they do not feel safe. If they don't feel safe, they're not going to go. And Hangman's Alley, for some reason, has 0 defense, but people don't seem to care at all on that one. They need food, water, beds, and then happiness will go up. Yeah, there's 6 people there, that's why they're complaining. I've got 6 people, I have no food, I have no water, I only have 2 beds. So these people are sleeping in shifts, they're not eating, they're not drinking. This is something that needs to be fixed. And you need to do it as soon as you can, too. Otherwise, they're just going to up and leave. They're not going to care, and they're not going to stick around. Now, my Red Rocket truck stop is perfectly fine. I've got 8 people here, 23 food, 9 water, 10 power, 35 defense. And of course, the higher your defense is, the less you're going to get called on. You're not going to get the random messages going, Red Rocket Truck Stop is under attack, and then it's going to tell you failed because you didn't go back there in time to help them. So if you set up a good perimeter of defense, it's going to save you from making regular trips back to these places to help them out. So as just a basic defense, I take the regular turret. Machine gun turret is the one here. You'll see that under defense. If my dog would get out of the way. Turrets, just the basic, very first one, machine gun, or you can use a heavy machine gun if you want even better defense. Or, go on down the line to the other ones. We got spotlights to sound alarms. And then just pretty much go around the perimeter of your base and set up the machine gun turrets to defend it. You can see I've got them just here and there every once in a while. That way, no matter where any attack comes from, it's covered. I don't have to worry about coming back here to save everybody's butts, and they're not going to complain that they don't feel safe. You can see on this one I've got my radio beacon up top. That really doesn't matter. As long as it's broadcasting, it can be put wherever. And since I have a recruitment beacon at this one, and I've got it, back up at the other one in the upper left corner, I've got a recruitment beacon in multiple locations. Each one of those beacons are going to hit each one of those towers that I raise. And then that's going to give settlers a choice. They're going to say, okay, well, this one has high defense, but this one has more food and water. They get the choice of where they want to go to. So if you balance out every one of them, the settlers are just going to come flooding in. You're going to get new settlers at every one of your settlements on a regular basis. And then, your supply routes can go stronger. You'll get a lot more to work with. And end up being able to build a lot more. And as you can see here, I'm still not completely used to building, because this one right here won't even let me put a roof on it for some reason. And I think it's because of the Red Rocket sign right there. Oh, excuse me. But originally this one, the Red Rocket Truck Stop, I came in and I talked to a girl that was here and asked her if everything was okay. Now, if that's another way to check, too, is if you just go up to one of the settlers at your settlement, talk to them. Let's see.
I'd like to trade some items.
Okay.
No. Okay, well, every once in a while you will get a settler that will just walk up to you and want to talk. If you talk to them and ask them how everything is going, they will tell you specifically. Like, it's nice here, but we're sleeping in shifts. That means they need more beds to sleep on. So if you don't want to go into the menu every time to check and see what they need, you can just ask them. But I find it a lot easier just going into the Pip-Boy, going over to the data tab and down to workshops, and that tells me everything that every settlement needs to be happy. Now, if there's anything that I've left out or have not covered, please let me know. If it's something a lot of people are needing help on, I'll do what I can. I'll try to get a video out to help all of you out and hopefully make the entire Fallout community a lot happier and make gameplay go a lot better for everybody. But for now, go ahead and give a thumbs up on the video, and don't forget on that next screen, go ahead and subscribe. The more people I have coming in to my settlement, the more videos I make. So until next time, peace.